It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
You know, the drought in Texas has lasted about 5 years now, and of all the lakes in the state that have been dramatically impacted, the top three would probably be Lake Meredith in the Texas Panhandle, almost completely dried up, Lake O.H. Ivy in West Texas, and the lake I'm coming to you from today, Lake Travis, just outside Austin. Lake Travis is down about 47 feet from normal pool level, and you can see on the Mansfield Dam at Lake Travis just behind me where the original water level was and how far down the lake is. So the question that remains is the lake still accessible? Is boating still okay on the lake? And even the more important question, how is the bass fishing? We intend to answer all of those questions in the next half hour. While we're doing that out on Lake Travis, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas, and along the Texas Gulf Coast. We'll have the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, your Costa Catch of the Week, your big fish pictures, and much more. So right now, we're gonna take the Nitro Z8 down the one available boat ramp left in the water. While we do that, we take you back to the FSN studios where Julie has your weekend planner.
Hello everybody, it looks like you may have a chance for a productive fishing trip this weekend with good conditions predicted on both days. Peak game fish activity Saturday will start at 7 a.m. and the best conditions for Sunday should begin around 7:50 in the morning. Look for the sun to rise at 6:53 and set at 5:29. And evenings will be lit by a crescent moon that is 14% visible. Stay with us, we're coming right back with fishing updates from Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. Plus, I've got the Whataburger Ask the Pro with fishing legend Rick Clunn sharing some insight on using a bait cast reel.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. Quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. By Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineering for angling.
Got him. Up, coming up. Made one little jump there. Oh, it's a good fish. Hooked under the chin. All right. Easy. Good, that's a largemouth. Clear water, boy. And I got him hooked real well, so I'm just gonna swing him in. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are checking out beautiful Lake Travis, just outside Austin, Texas. And that fish right behind me, in fact, I'm gonna stand up so you can see while I'm unhooking this fish, but right behind me, you can see that little point coming out, that little shallow, gravelly point. That's where these fish are relating to. Spent enough time on the lake today to start getting a little bit of a pattern down. And that bass hit a rattle bait, and he's not all that shallow. So I think what's happening is these fish are out here chasing bait out in deep water, and they're running the bait up. Man, I cannot get this fish loose. There we go, got it loose. Caught him on a rattle bait right there. And just a nice 2-pound chunky largemouth bass. We're gonna let him swim back here. All right. Well, the one thing I can tell you about Lake Travis is it's still got a real healthy population of fish. We've caught largemouth bass, spotted bass, caught a couple of little small Guadalupe bass, the state fish of Texas, by the way. And it's also got a great population of white bass and even a few stripers too. So it's real good, even though the lake is as low as it is and lots of exposed stuff around that normally is way underwater. Everything's concentrated. There's still plenty deep water, 122 feet deep at the dam, so this lake's not going anywhere. All right, let's get you some more lake reports here and get over to Louisiana, see what's happening there with Cajun Field and Play.
Friends, right here on Calcasieu Lake, the fishing is turning on. It's the fall time of the year. Lots of trout, lots of redfish, and lots of flounder. Robert, y'all came down today. Y'all went back up in the marsh. And you accomplished two things. You caught a lot of redfish, you said, and you couldn't get a limit because you had to throw too many big ones back.
Yeah, we were trying to catch a limit so we have some grill and some fish here, and you know, we haven't been catching them, we haven't been fishing that much, but we also came down, we got some new rod blanks that we have developed over the winter, and we want to, you know, really put the horse pressure on we did.
Well, I'll tell you what, look for some new American rod smiths on the shelves near you, and I'll tell you what, as you can see right here, they put them to the test today, and it looks like they succeeded. And if anybody wants to make a trip, the number will be up on the screen. You can call old Cajun Phil, come down here, we'll take you out trout and red fishing. Like I said, right now through the winter time, it's going to be great fishing on Calcasieu Lake.
Don't forget, at the end of this episode, go to our Facebook page and do two things. Answer the question and click the like button. If you do both of those things, you'll be eligible to win one of 5 of the brand new limited edition Southwest Outdoors Report t-shirts that we're giving away at midnight on Saturday night. But you've got to do both of those things, answer the question and click the like button. I got another one. Hey, the fish are biting. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Jump up here and show yourself. We're on Lake Travis. Let's see what kind of fish this is. This is a lake that you never really know what you're going to catch. There's so many different species of fish in here. That is a little spotted bass. Got a lot of those in here. Show you what one looks like here. That's just a small fish, but we can show you the specimen anyway. You can see he's real gold color. Got the spots up and down his back and got the lines down his sides, and he's got 2 little patches of teeth on his tongue. So we're going down through here throwing a lipless rattling crankbait. Let that one go back. And I want to mention something about Lake Travis, something we discovered early on. We launched the boat at the only boat ramp that's left open, Lake 47 feet low. There's only one public boat ramp open, and that's down at the Mansfield Dam Recreation Area right down by the dam. And immediately saw that there's 125 feet of water out in the channel there, so this lake's going nowhere, even though it's 47 feet low. But as we drove down the lake, I want to show you a couple of things. The docks here, you would never know there's anything wrong. You'd never know this lake is in such a drought because they've strategically put these floating boat docks in that move with the lake levels. They just did a great job. Most of the homeowners here and marinas thought ahead. Pretty cool thing going on right here at Lake Travis. Let's check out right now the rest of the fishing reports around the state of Texas with Brian Hughes.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by A1 Locksmith. With 8 retail locations, they're standing by to serve your key and lock needs, including house, office, high security, and even those programmable automobile keys the dealers will charge you a fortune for. Now we're going to go out to Bob Sandlin this week in Northeast Texas, where bass fishermen are only going to need 4 baits. You're going to start with a buzz bait and whiter chartreuse early in the morning, then switch over to a spinnerbait in a shad skirt color, and finally you'll want to wrap up with either a soft jerkbait like the Cinco in a watermelon red, or a hard jerkbait in a fire tiger or clown color. Work main lake points and the mouths of the creeks about 1/3 of the way in, working any kind of grass or cover that you may find. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by A1 Locksmiths. Be sure and look for my picture on the website for more on the Lone Star Lakes. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, temperatures have been below average and then above average. However, it looks like we're heading into a stretch where fishing is becoming more consistent. On the upper coast, the story remains the same, with Sabine, Galveston, Trinity, Chocolate, and East Matagorda seeing solid bird activity with good trout underneath. Flounder activity is picking up as they make their way toward the Gulf. Be sure and use a heavier jig head for long casts under the birds or to get your bait down to the flounder. On the middle coast, fishing has picked up. Specks are working the grassy areas of the Libby Ann Channel, Dagger, and East Flats, as well as around Shamrock Cove. Topwater lures, real keels, and Toby Hogan's finger mullet are taking fish on the flats and channel drops. Now the mouth of Baffin Bay is beginning to turn on, so is the Yarborough area. Grass flats and channels either side of the JFK Causeway are giving up trout, redfish, and flounder. On the lower coast, the hot spot remains the jetties where reds, trout, and mangrove snapper are hitting live bait. Mexiquita Flats and north of Holly Beach are good for specks. Live and cut bait as well as DOA shrimp under a rattling float are good options. Plus, it is blast and cast time on the Texas coast as anglers turn hunters in the morning for ducks and then begin fishing later in the afternoon. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
This week on your Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I've got a really good fishing lake for you in northeast Oklahoma at Skiatook Lake, north of Tulsa. It's got lots of largemouth, smallmouth bass in it, white bass, and hybrid stripers. So let's locate it for you right now on the Lowrance HDS 10, and you can see that it's located north up State Highway 11 and west on Highway 20 from Tulsa. Now this can be a tricky lake to fish. It's spread out all over the place, as you can see, and it can get pretty murky after a rain. The Highway 20 bridge crosses at mid-lake here, and we zoom in to the lower end of the lake below that. The main channel snakes down the lake here, and it runs up to 85 feet deep. Out of that deep water, you'll find some plateaus, humps, and ridges and points that come up as shallow as you want, and you'll find the white bass and hybrid stripers in these areas ganged up on shad. You'll also find the largemouth and smallmouth bass in the main creeks and off of some of these main lake points like the ones we're highlighting here. Skiatook Lake can be a pretty frustrating lake to fish, but have patience with it. One of the largest smallmouth bass that I ever caught in Oklahoma came out of Skiatook Lake. Stay with us. Coming back to Lake Travis outside Austin in just a moment, but headed into the break, here are more of your big fish photos on the Costa Catch of the Week contest. These weren't actual winners, but they're great pictures from our viewers nonetheless.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance, and the all-new HDS Gen 2 with Structure Map Overview, by Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability, by Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there, by Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day.
Got him out there in deep water. All right, Lake Travis scores again. This feels like a pretty good little chunk right here. Up. A good little jump. Right in here, baby. Clear water. That's a fat little fish right there. Up you come. All right, we are checking out Lake Travis today. It's the first time I've actually been to this lake in several years since the drought conditions and all the water level change, but that's a good little chunk. We're gonna let him go back. And I wanna show you right here behind us, you can see that rock point. That fish was out in deep water right off, maybe if you can see it better if I stand over here, but right off that shallow rock point up there, but it falls off into really deep water. The river channel's right out there over 100 feet deep. And picked up a spinning rod with Strand Sonic braid line on it, put a little clear piece of fluorocast line on here, fluorocarbon line, and a little soft plastic finesse bait on a lead head. And that is dynamite on these deep clear lakes like this. One of the things you want to look for is, I've got a choice here. The other side of the lake over there is dead calm. It's blocked off from the wind. This side has got some ripple on it. You always want to choose the windy side of the lake on a clear lake. It'll make all the difference in the world in you getting a bite. If you just see that little bit of ripple on the water is critical in these clear conditions. Okay, let's take you all the way up north to Oklahoma. Check in with Gary Dollahan, your soon-to-be.
Hey, anytime I see a really good fishing lake that's considerably low going into the fall, I put that top of mind on the radar for some serious winter bass fishing. Here we are at Lake Uchi, a great example of what I'm talking about. About 12 feet low, a phenomenal lake for crappie and bass fishing with a great wintertime fishing reputation. Now, I talked to an individual who fished here yesterday. He said they had a great day bass fishing. Started about mid-morning, fished to early afternoon, throwing spinnerbaits, caught a good number of largemouth from 1.5 pounds to 4.5 pounds. Throwing a double blade spinnerbait, about 3/8 ounce, had a Colorado upper, a small willow leaf lower blade, and used a chartreuse trailer on it. They were targeting chunk rock walls and then some shallow rocky points. A lot of fun. I also ran into Ken Kroc, a longtime Lake Patrol guy here on Uchi, 32 years worth, knows a lot about the lake. Here's what he had to say about this lake at this particular time.
Fishing's still good on the lake, and the lake's still accessible in several areas. Crappie are still good, bass fishing's good. 8 to 18 feet shelters on the south side of the lake have produced crappie with jigs and minnows. Most of the access to the lake is on gravel bars. Our ramps are closed. Four-wheel drive is necessary. It's $1 a day to fish and $1 on your boat. Permits can be bought on an annual basis and are good for Spavinaw and Uchi.
Lake Uchi is also one of those spots I heard a lot of good Alabama rig fishing reports from last winter. So keep that in mind as well as winter crappie fishing. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Here's a fish right here. Got him. Down there on a drop shot rig. Here he comes up. Look at him in that clear water. Boy, he is burying straight down. Here he comes. Beautiful. Oh, and he got off right there. But we got a real good look at that fish, a little spotted bass, about 2 pounds. All right, we're going to a quick break right here, but before we do, I want to mention something. We are showing a lot of photos that didn't make the Costa Catch of the Week, so as we go to break, here's a bunch more of our fan photos. Great pictures nonetheless.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 10 years running. By Excite, start positive, stay positive. By Lou's Reels and Rods, feel the difference. And by Onyx Personal Flotation Devices and Rainwear, keeping you safe on the water.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Whataburger Ask the Pro. Our question this week is from Ronnie in Rowlett, Texas, who writes, I'm trying to get my wife to use a bait cast reel. Any tips for beginners? For the answer, we visited this year's Toyota Texas Bass Classic to ask fishing legend Rick Clunn.
Really, they're real good. Most bait cast company now put the instructions in there on how to set the reel up initially. And the only other hint that most of them don't give anymore is that on the bait cast reel, you've got your handle on the side here that you're reeling. Okay. When you cast, you don't want that handle pointing horizontal to the earth. You want that handle pointing toward the stars. So that means you turn the handle so it points toward the sky. It reduces the torque on the spool. That's the only, otherwise, set it the way they have in the little instructions, and then remember to turn the handle when you're casting to reduce the torque on the spool.
Thanks, Rick. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Click on the Ask the Pro link and send us your information. Have a great weekend, everyone. Now back to Barry for the Costa Catch of the Week.
Congratulations to this week's Costa Catch of the Week winner. He is Zach Crossland of Denton, Texas, showing off a 10-pound largemouth bass he caught at O.H. Ivy Lake in West Texas with our good friend and lake guy, J.R. Howard. If you'd like to send in your big fish photo, just go to our website at southwestouttdoorsreport.com. Once you do that, fill out the form, send in your photo, and you could win a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses like Zach does on this week's show. Now you go to the Costa website by, again, going to our front page, Click on the Costa logo. Once you do that, you'll see all of the Costa frame styles and lens styles, including this month's Frame Style of the Month, Galveston. Next up on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, let's talk about the lures that you can catch bass in the super clear water here at Lake Travis on. Beginning on your left, that is a little small 4-inch finesse worm rigged on a lead head. The lighter, more transparent colors work better. Below that is a little small 1/4-ounce swim bait, again on a lead head. Above that is a topwater chugger bait that works early and late. And on the right-hand side of your screen is a small 1/2-ounce jigging spoon. Well, I think that even though Lake Travis is 47 feet low, there's still plenty of water to fish. One boat ramp still in the water as of the time we aired this show. It's at the Mansfield Dam Recreation Area. There's only one lane, so you need to be pretty careful and pay an entrance fee there as well. But I think there is a lot of good fishing to be had on the lake. Good bass fishing if you'll fish the type water we fished on this show. Use the type baits that we used on some light line. Fluorocarbon line, Stren Fluorocast works well. I think you can be successful here at Lake Travis. Hey, don't forget to join us for next week's show. It will be on at a special time, 11 p.m., right after the college basketball game. If that game runs late, we will be on right after the game. You can always watch the latest episode of our show on the front page of our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Also from there, you can link to our YouTube channel where you can watch all the past episodes of our show. Also from there, you can link to our Facebook page where you can get lots of information that you won't see here on the TV show, including lots of video, photos, fishing reports, all kinds of good stuff on our Facebook page. From Lake Travis in Austin, Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.